What's going on, guys? So I'm pretty damn excited about this. I got a bottle from Kingdom Fragrances, Afnan 9am Dive. I haven't watched any reviews. I know my main man, one of my favorite fragrance channels of all time, Joy Amin, talked about it not that long ago. I didn't watch. I don't want to be influenced, Joy. I love you, but I didn't want to be influenced. But I knew I was going to get this. So I'm very excited to get it. And we're going to bust this open, do a first impressions. I'll probably take a break, let it dry down for about an hour, come back. We'll give it a first impressions rating. So stay tuned. So they have changed the box. Interesting enough, this is not the same as the 9 p.m. box. I'm digging it. They upgraded the presentation. Shades of blue. I love blue. Not just the style fragrances, but blue is my favorite color. So I'm guessing it's the glass is this light color blue. And then you have a royal blue, deep royal blue sticker. Thick, heavy glass. Big, thick metal cap. I mean, it's the same as 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., but here we go. Oh, it sprayed right away. Two big, wide sprays. I'm excited, guys. Haven't looked at any notes I don't want to know. We'll look after. Give it a few more seconds. I smell a lot of citrus. Has like a grapefruit smell to it out in the air. A little bit of Bleu de Chanel's opening, to be completely honest. There's this subtle, darker nuance in the backdrop. It's bright, it's minty, it's got like a pink pepper smell to it. I'd be shocked if pink pepper's not in here. It's got that sweet, spicy, aromatic pink pepper smell. Yeah, and grapefruit. I bet you that's in here. I'll be shocked if it's not. Very juicy, very bright, super, super fresh, uplifting, very airy type of opening. This is a fragrance that would do well at a Macy's fragrance counter. Obviously, they're not carrying Afnan. I get it. But this is the kind of opening that would do well at a department store's fragrance counter. To spray test strips and hand to people or stand at the door and try to force fragrances on people. Like, that was a thing for a long time. This smells lovely. This is much more of a light blue fragrance than a blue fragrance. It's got this aquatic feel without being very watery. There could definitely be some type of aquatic note here. It's more ozonic and bright than it is watery and aquatic, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something watery or aquatic about this. It could just be the juiciness of the citrus, you know? But it's definitely along the lines of a Bleu de Chanel without being just like Bleu de Chanel, but I get that type of vibe. Kind of like Bleu de Chanel meets maybe a little touch of Dylan Blue. Yeah, because there's something dark in the backdrop. Could be incense, something smoky. Could be like a Gaiac wood providing a little bit of smokiness. But Bleu de Chanel and Dylan Blue both have an incense note, so I think that might be why I'm getting vibes of those two. A lot of pink pepper, though. Smells like it to me. Like I said, I'll be surprised if pink pepper's not in here. It's super inviting, but at the same time, this can be a very redundant fragrance for a lot. If you have a bunch of blue fragrances, which I do, hugely redundant for me. But it doesn't mean I don't like exploring new blue fragrances. I love blue. It's my default style of fragrance is blue fragrances because they just work for everything. They're inviting. They're easy to wear. They work for every outfit, every season. Though I would deem this more spring, summer, and even early fall, especially in the southern region of the United States where there's more humidity and more heat. This would be a great year-round fragrance because it's becoming more of a blue fragrance than a light. I think just the freshness of the opening made me think light blue because it's fresh and airy and juicy and watery and all that good stuff. But it's getting deeper as it settles. There's definitely more of a fresh, spicy tone in here. I'm convinced if it's not pink pepper, there's some type of nuance and note that's giving this fresh, spicy, slightly peppery vibe. There's a little bit of sweetness here. It is getting a little bit smoky. So there could be incense or Gaiac wood. I'm thinking it could be Gaiac wood, but there's something giving a darker, smoky nuance. little bit of an ambery feel. It's warming up. It is changing, I have to say. Let's take a look at these notes. I am gonna, because Steve usually puts note breakdowns for the fragrances on Kingdom Fragrance's website. So let's see, here we go. Pulling up Kingdom Fragrances. Here we go. All right. 9 a.m. Dive EDP. Available currently. Oh, just ran out of stock at the recording of this, so I don't know when he's going to have stock. I think he's going to have more stock in a few days, but $33.98. He blew out of these. He only had them for like 2 or 3 days. But let's see. Okay, top notes. Lemon, pink pepper, mint, and black currant. So it's not grapefruit, it's lemon. The mintiness is there, the pink pepper's there, so I got those. Black currant. Okay, that it didn't distinctively smell like that, but that could be providing some of the fruitiness. Obviously, apple, incense, there you go. There's incense. Apple, incense, cedar in the mid. Base is patchouli, jasmine, ginger, and sandalwood. So that could be the ginger coming in that's kind of giving this crispy, warm, almost fresh, spicy feel. But the pink pepper is definitely that sweet spice I was getting in the opening. Like I said, I would have been surprised. Lemon, grapefruit, tomato, depending on the blend. It was a juicy citrus. I don't feel bad that it's not grapefruit and it's lemon, but mint, incense, and pink pepper definitely stand out in this fragrance. I would have been surprised if that really wasn't in here. So it's nice to see that ended up being the note breakdown for it. I'll have it on screen for you guys, or would have already at this point had it on screen. It definitely has more of a Bleu de Chanel EDP meets Dylan Blue meets, I'm trying to think what else. There's a couple different types of vibes I'm getting here that it fits. It's all blue fragrances. It's all blue fragrances that I'm getting from this. That's the main two. I'm trying to think of something that's a little on the gingerly side. Nothing really comes to mind specifically, but those two fragrances, there's similarities to this. Dylan Blue meets Bleu de Chanel. If you like either one of those fragrances, you'll probably like this. If you have both of those fragrances, it'll be pretty damn redundant, I think. So we're going to let this dry down, see if we get some more of these bottom notes, and I will be back. Okay, it's been 40 minutes. I didn't wait a full hour. I've just been sitting here sniffing and really digging this one. If you're into mass appealing fragrances, blue fragrances, compliment getting DNAs, you're going to like this. The patchouli's coming out a lot more. It's more patchouli and ginger at this stage. I'm not getting a ton of sandalwood. Little bit. It's not super creamy, but there's a light creaminess that could be the patchouli. It could be the sandalwood. It could be a combination of both, but it's not super creamy. I appreciate that. Even ginger can come across creamy sometimes. It's not overly done. It's kind of well balanced with getting the subtle details of each of those notes I just mentioned without any of them kind of overwhelming one another. Like, it's not a lot of ginger. If anything, I would say the patchouli stands out the most to me. That ginger provides just the right amount of spice and a little bit of a crisp edge to it. I guess that kind of settles down the creaminess that really could be without that type of crisp edge from the ginger. This stuff's really good. I really like this. This is my first impressions. I don't know what longevity is going to be like. Projection seems to be pretty solid right now. Granted, it's only been like roughly an hour. I've had this on my hand, less than an hour. I like this. This is something I can see myself reaching for over and over. This is a dumb reach kind of fragrance that's just going to work. This is a great fragrance in that sub $40 price point. Doesn't smell super cheap and synthetic, which a lot of blue fragrances have that synthetic edge. And by no means am I saying this is some high quality scent profile. It works though. I definitely really dig this one. Yeah, that citrus and that pink pepper, all that brightness at the top calmed down. Still has a airiness to it while having these heavier, darker notes in the base come out more, but not take away from the freshness completely. Like, that ginger's really doing its job here. I don't get a bunch of florals or anything like that. I think there's jasmine in here. Unlock my phone, pull it back up real quick. Yeah, the base is patchouli, jasmine, ginger, and sandalwood. I don't get that. I still get some of the incense. It's woody, it's patchouli, and I get ginger. But it's mostly, I think, mostly ginger and patchouli. This stuff's really good. First impressions rating on this, it's even better than I hoped it would be. I was fully anticipating this being like an 8 out of 10 fragrance. I think it's even better than that because it speaks to my taste. It speaks to the kind of stuff that I reach for the most. So, my thoughts on this one, guys, this is an outstanding blue fragrance. I think this is a 9 out of 10. It's outstanding. When you get it, when you smell it, you may not feel that way. You can get a sample for $4 from Steve. Get a sample if you don't want to roll the dice. I really dig this. This is my kind of fragrance right here. When I have some slightly warmer days, I'm going to be reaching for this a lot. It's going to take a little bit before I can get a full review out because I want to get a little bit more springtime weather or these warmer winter days because we're right in the heart of winter here in the mountains. So I'm not going to have a ton of days unless I just feel like I'm in the mood for fresh, but I'm going to be wearing this over the next couple weeks and I will get a full review out at some point. This stuff, I'm impressed. Well, that's my first impressions on Afnan's 9am Dive, one of the newest fragrances from them, which I think is a fantastically well-balanced blue fragrance that doesn't distinctively smell like one other blue fragrance, but will remind you of a few different blue fragrances. So I can appreciate that. It's not like a direct copy of one thing, but it smells like a few things. So it's not original, but damn it, it smells really good. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have already got your nose on this? What do you think about it? Do you have a similar assessment to me? Are you excited to try to get your hands on this? Do you have similar taste to me where you love blue fragrances? You're probably going to want to check this one out. This is really good stuff. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on 9am Dive from Afnan and you give it a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later, especially if you like blue. Have a good one, guys.